Are you brand new to Medicare and it just seems so overwhelming and so confusing? You don't know who to trust. You don't know which option to choose. You don't even know what you're doing when it comes to Medicare. Well, then you've landed on the right video, because I'm going to break this overview, this Medicare 101 overview up for you in 3 parts. And this is going to be part 1. What's up, friends? Rob here. Some know me as the Medicare Minister with Agape Insurance and Financial Group in North Mississippi. And the good news about Medicare is it's universal when it comes to your Part A and your Part B, and we'll talk more about that. But there are going to be some different nuances in different states, but I do believe this is going to give you a good foundation, so that way you can make the most informed an educated decision when it comes to Medicare. So once again, my name is Rob with Agape Insurance and Financial Group, where we talk about Medicare, we talk about retirement and financial, life insurance, estate planning, and more. But today, this video is going to mainly be about Medicare. Okay, so have you received any Medicare mail, or maybe you've been getting 100 phone calls a day, or maybe it seems like your social media is listening to all your conversations about Medicare and you're getting all these ads online? Well, the good news is this is going to help clarify a lot of those things and help you get a good understanding, because it can be confused. It can be overwhelming. And our goal here is to bring you some clarity in this 3-part series. That's one of the biggest frustrations that we get here at Agape, is why do they make this Medicare thing so hard? And once again, I pray that this will bring some clarity to you. You've probably seen advertisements like Joe Namath and William Shatner and other celebrities on TV talking about all these Medicare plans that are not going to cost you anything and give you all these extra ancillary benefits, and it sounds too good to be true. Well, you don't want to believe everything you hear on TV or see on the internet, and sometimes it can only be the partial truth, and it can be very misleading, and we definitely don't want you to fall for any of those traps, so to speak. It's very important to get your Medicare right the first time, all right? So goals for this educational seminar here online is to get all your questions answered about Medicare, for you to have a much better understanding about Medicare when you leave this seminar than when you first clicked on it. Get a good understanding of your Medicare options so you could have some great choices here, and just have a comfort level even with us. We work in most states here at Agape, and we would love to be able to help you navigate this Medicare journey at no cost, no obligation to you. And if we do not work in your state, then we have a trusted network of seasoned Medicare advisors that can make sure that you make the right decision for your Medicare. All right, so let's talk about Original Medicare. Are you eligible? It says you and your spouse must have worked a minimum of 10 years or 40 quarters according to the Medicare guidelines. Now, here are some qualifying events. Most of you watching this are probably turning 65 really soon. Well, that is a qualifying event. Or here's another group of people that we work with a lot, and that is going on disability. Maybe you're getting ready to click over on your 25th month where your Medicare is going to start, and you need to know what your options are about disability Medicare. Now, real quick side note, disability Medicare is a little different than your turning 65 Medicare. So you definitely want to make sure that you get with a seasoned advisor when it comes to that. All right, number 3 is you're coming off of group coverage because you've been working past the age of 65. We have seen this more and more over the past few years, where people are working past the age of 65 because of inflation, because of taxes, and they want to make sure that they can work as long as they can, get their max Social Security benefit, as well as make sure to put some more money back to make sure that they are comfortable during retirement, or unfortunately, maybe you've been diagnosed with end-stage renal disease. All right, enrolling in Medicare. 2 simplest ways is to call the Medicare hotline number, that is 1-800-MEDICARE, or the Social Security hotline number, which is 1-800-772-1213. If you're pretty tech savvy and you know your way online, you can also go to this Medicare website here and you can apply for Medicare and Social Security. Now, when it comes to Social Security, you will automatically be enrolled into Medicare. On Medicare Social Security, you'll have to actively enroll yourself. It's really, really easy if you know your way online. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes. One thing you must be aware of is your initial enrollment period is 7 months. It's 3 months before your birth month, the month of you're turning 65, and then 3 months after your birth month. Now, one myth that I want to dispel here real quickly while we're landing here on this slide is that you do not have to go on Social Security when you go on Medicare. A lot of people think that, but you do not have to. All right. Now, when it comes to your Medicare choices, there's two main choices when it comes to Medicare. We'll talk more about that later on in the other parts of this overview. But the bottom line is, short version is you have your Part A and your Part B, which we're going to be talking about here in just a few minutes, as well as Medicare supplement and your Part D prescription plan, or the second option is what we call Medicare Advantage plans or Part C. So let's talk about Part A Medicare, which is your hospital insurance. Some people refer to it as your inpatient insurance. So is there a cost? This is one question we get asked all the time. Is there a cost when it comes to Medicare Part A? There is no premium if you or your spouse paid Medicare taxes for 40 quarters. If you paid Medicare taxes for 30 to 39 quarters, the standard Part A premium is $278. If you paid Medicare taxes for less than 30 quarters, the standard Part A premium is $505. One quick side note, most people are going to be in that top bullet point. You're not going to have any cost for your Part A, but occasionally we do see people where they're in that 278 bracket, or I've been even helped individuals where they're in that 505 bracket. Part A, while it has no cost for most people, does have a $1,632 deductible for each inpatient benefit, which means you could have to pay this multiple times per year. Part B, also known as your medical insurance, some people refer to it as your outpatient insurance, where Part A does not have a cost for most people when it comes to their Part A premium. Part B has a standard premium of $174.70, and that will come out of your Social Security check if you're going on Social Security, or if you're not, then they will bill that to you quarterly. It also has an annual deductible of $240. All right, I put a little graph here on the screen for you to see. Most people are going to fall in this top category when it comes to the $174.70. But if you are making a higher income than that top bracket as an individual or as a married couple, then you could pay a higher premium when it comes to your Part B premium. As you see here, column number 2, $244.60. If you look at the income bracket, $349.40 in column 3, $454.20, $559, and $594. Once again, I don't want to scare you. Most people are going to fall in that top bracket of $174.70. Now, here's the good news. Even if you fall in one of those higher tier columns there when it comes to your Part B premium cost, that Medicare only looks back every 2 years. So after 2 years, you can have them review that and bring that down if your income has decreased from the first time you went on Medicare. All right, when does my Medicare begin? If your birthday is between the 2nd and the 31st, your Medicare will go into effect on the first day of your birth month. Example, if you were born on April 15th, your effective date would be April 1st. If your birthday is on the 1st, your Medicare will go into effect on the 1st of the month prior to your birth month. Once again, quick example, if you were born April 1st, your effective date would be March the 1st. Now, let's talk about when it comes to group health coverage versus going on Medicare. If an individual is no longer employed and decides not to activate their Part B, even though they have group health insurance, they will receive a Part B premium penalty. I cannot stress this enough when it comes to should I stay on my Medicare or go on your group coverage. You must be actively employed with your present company. And then there are also some other stipulations that you want to be aware of, because this Part B penalty will never go away. It says here, The Part B premium penalty is a permanent penalty and is 10% for each 12-month period that you are eligible for Part B. Now, let's talk about group versus Medicare, because we get asked this question all the time. Should I stay on my group coverage? Once again, we must be actively employed. Credible coverage also does not include COBRA. Many people think it does. It does not. So you cannot stay on COBRA and delay your Part B, or you will have a penalty. But here are some things that we need to consider. Number one is premium. How much am I currently paying for my group health coverage versus how much is it going to cost me if I go on Medicare? In most cases, it's actually better to go on Medicare. What about deductible? Am I paying $1,000 deductible, $2,000 deductible? I've been with some people that are paying $5,000 and higher. Well, Medicare's annual deductible for this year is only $240. So if I'm paying more than that on my group health and coverage, then I definitely need to consider if Medicare may not be an option. Co-insurance percentage. Max out of pocket. Many group health plans have high max out of pockets. Co-payments, and then here's a big one, prescription drug. Is my group health benefit covering my prescription drugs better than what Medicare will cover them? And this is definitely something to really evaluate if you're on some high-tier medications like Januvia or Jardiance for diabetes, or maybe you've been diagnosed with AFib and they have you on a real expensive medication like Eliquis, or maybe you're on a blood thinner like Xarelto, and there's plenty other drugs I could discuss, but you get the idea. When it comes to higher tier drugs, sometimes your group coverage will cover those better than your Medicare, and this is why you definitely want to get with someone who knows what they're talking about. All right, coverage options for spouse if they're not going on Medicare. Here's another popular question that we get asked. Well, I'm going on Medicare. What happens to my spouse? What happens to them if I go on Medicare because they are covered on my group coverage? They won't let me leave my spouse on there if I come off the plan. Well, we have options for that. The most popular option that I see is through the Affordable Care Act, because the premiums are based on household size and income, and they take your spouse as they are, which means if they do have had some medical challenges in the past, or they're currently having some medical challenges, no pre-existing conditions will keep them from getting accepted through the Affordable Care Act. We are a premier Affordable Care Act agency, so we can help your spouse and you navigate through that as well. So if you're going on Medicare, we can help you with that at no cost, no obligation to you, and then we can also make sure that your spouse gets the coverage that they deserve as well. There's also Christian health sharing programs out there, short-term medical plans, and more. Bottom line is we can help your spouse get coverage, so there's no need to stress out about that if you're going to go on Medicare. All right, let's talk about the Medicare Part B premium like we did earlier. If you were on Social Security, your Part B premium will automatically be withheld from your Social Security check. If you're not, then you will have to pay that quarterly. You can also go to this website at mymedicare.gov, and you can get set up with their Easy Pay and pay your Part B premium that way as well. All right, once again, there's the chart. Most people are going to land at that top bracket of $174.70. All right, so we're going to stop here today with this video, and then we're going to launch part 2 next week, where we're going to be talking about these coverage choices. The two coverage choices that we have is to either stay on original Medicare with our Part A and our Part B, where we get a Medicare supplement, also known as a Medigap, and a prescription drug plan, and any other ancillary service that we may need or plan that we may need in order to adequately address our healthcare needs. Or the other option is what's known as a Medicare Advantage plan or Part C plan, where it combines your Part A and Part B and then covers your Part D coverage in most plans, as well as adding some additional ancillary benefits like dental, vision, hearing, and so on and so forth. And so we definitely want to get this right the first time out of the gate. That's why it's important to deal with a seasoned advisor like Agape. I'm going to put the number on the screen here, and I can't stress this enough for you. We do not charge anything for that. It will not cost you anything. You're no under obligation. We just simply want to help you get this right. We want to make sure that you choose the right option for your healthcare needs, and that's going to include your providers, your doctors, your medicines, and so on. So call the number on the screen today, or simply go down in the video description. Go to our website, fill out the contact form, and either myself or one of our advisors would be more than happy to help you navigate your Medicare journey. And then the final thing I'll say today is please make sure that you hit the like button for us. This just helps us help more Medicare beneficiaries get some clarity when it comes to this thing called Medicare, just like you're wanting clarity today. God bless you guys. We pray that you got some value out of this video today, and we'll see you on the next video.